That marriage is a safety net for men, and it creates essentially a village around him to prop him up. And for women, it is a risk.
How is marriage safe for men? Hold on, I've been waiting for the... What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. So let's go ahead and get it started. If you could like the video, subscribe, and hey, how's it going? My name's Rat Boy. Let's get into it.
I believe there are many reasons why cishet marriages are on the decline, and I'm not going to talk about all of them. But one thing I do think that has become very present to most women and men.
Stop it. Get some help.
The reason those marriages are on a decline because men aren't asking women to marry them anymore. There's no benefit to marry a woman anymore. And if you look at marriages across the board, look at gay marriages, you'll see that it's mainly women that are getting divorced from those marriages. So the issue isn't men. Okay, men have decided that they do not want to get married, and the men that are married are wishing every second of every day that they could just get rid of the woman they're with. You see this all over social media, and even a woman like this is insane to me why she would think that her husband would want her to stand in their kitchen and complain on TikTok. It's completely insane. But let's read this comment by this guy. He's saying defending this type of activity is why men aren't getting married anymore. It's not worth the drama. Now, I don't know what this comment is referring to, but what I'm more interested in is our answer to this comment.
Is that marriage is a safety net for men, and it creates essentially a village around him to prop him up. And for women, it is a risk.
What the fuck?
How is marriage safe for men? Marriage is probably, for a man, it's probably one of the riskiest things they can do, not only to themselves, but to their livelihood, to their assets. It is completely 100% a risk. And how is it a risk to a woman? A woman, if she gets married, she can get divorced and take half his crap. She automatically gets so much. And then these are the same types of women that will come online and say men aren't afraid to get married. 99% of men out there, if they find a woman that's worth marrying, that's not an issue. My only problem is that marriage ends in divorce. So it's a lot easier for men to say, oh, well, I'll never get married again, because that's the only thing men can control. Men can control who they ask to marry them. The one thing they cannot control is who's going to divorce them. A lot of times when you ask a guy if he chooses a woman to marry, then he's already planning to spend the rest of his life with this woman. It's not a large majority of the time, it is not the man that is choosing to escape the marriage because he has so much to lose.
Marriage comes with risk. And the reason I say that, and it's not
For
always
men,
the case,
yes,
there's
there is
obviously
for men.
nuance, but when you get married to a man and tie up your finances with him and have children with him, you take on a level of risk. Because typically, women are the ones who leave the workforce to care for children. Women are the ones whose careers take a back seat to their male counterparts. Women are the ones who are left without financial security when they stay at home with their children.
And it is these same women that when they divorce, they get the house, they get the cars, they get have to do stuff, and they get alimony and child support. So they're taken care of for life. How is that a risk? That's free money. These women have brainwashed themselves to being so unintelligent. This isn't even an argument. This is delusion. This is complete delusion.
Women incur a risk. They also incur a risk to their mental health, their emotional health, right?
Of course, the
when
mental
you
health.
marry a male
Yeah.
partner and he expects you to prop him up and to support him, to carry the mental load, to do all the domestic labor, to prioritize his career, to bear children for him.
Women.
I've seen a lot of men nowadays that they will work 60 hours a week, okay, come home dead tired, and then right when they get home, they got to do the kids, they got to do the cooking, they got to do the cleaning, and the wife doesn't do anything. I've seen this. I've seen it in real life. I've seen it online where these women, they quote unquote work, they want 50-50, oh, everything's 50-50. But it's not 50-50 when the guy is making all the money in the household, paying all the bills, and he's also coming home and doing all the cleaning and taking care of the kids while she babysits for what, 6 hours and then drops the kids off at the in-laws. Are you joking right now? What do you want? You are completely delirious. There's no reality that exists where being a mom and being married to a provider is a risk to a woman. This is completely delusional.
Then you are viewed as a tool to his success. And in like historical cishet relationships, it didn't flow both ways. I think there's tons of marriages where it does, and that's, mine is one of them.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
For one thing, you're not a tool for his success, okay? What you're a part of is you're a part of what's called I know this is weird for some of these women out here, but back in the olden times, back in the olden days, this was what was called a family. And in the family, there were roles, and everyone had a role. That the father was the provider. He provided. He made sure everyone was taken care of. He made sure there was a roof. He made sure they were safe. And the woman was the nurturer. She took care of all the other things. She made sure the house was clean, and she made sure that the kids were taken care of. And it was a better time back then. Well, now, what we have now with modern marriage, as you can see with this woman who is married, she's saying that, oh, well, everything she does is just to help the man's success. What do you think you would be doing if the man wasn't providing for you? Like, where would you be? You'd be with another man, and he'd be providing for you. Or you'd be working a job. So how is this not for the benefit of the family whenever the man's providing for the family, but everything you're doing is just propping up him for his success? You see how it doesn't matter what a man does for the women, for his family and his life. Even this woman, she's sitting in her house that's completely paid for. She's sitting in her kitchen that's probably the man cleaned before he went to work and worked a double shift to pay for the house. And she's sitting there saying, oh, well, everything that I do in my home makes sure that my husband has success because I don't get anything of it. Well, if you were to divorce your husband, you would get half of all his crap, and he'd be like a lot of these guys out here, he'd be in the negative. His credit takes a hit, his money takes a hit, and you don't have to do anything. You just have to sit back and get a check. It's complete lunacy.
But it's not common for everybody to have that type of dynamic, to have a partnership that truly does flow both ways, where you both have financial security, where you both have emotional security, where you both have ample opportunity and support to achieve what it is you want to achieve. So there's tons of data around the fact that men who are married live longer, and women who are married live shorter lives, and women who are single live longer lives. Women who are single tend to be happier, right? There are these statistics, and men who are single are less happy. And there's also statistics around men following a divorce or the death of a partner getting married.
Those statistics are changing. All those statistics are completely changing. If you'll look now, this TikTok was made at the end of 2023, I believe. But if you look now at the statistics, you will see that men are now happier being older and being single and living the bachelor life in their later years. And it's women that are completely just engulfed in sadness. They are living with their cats. They are doing the Pilates. They can't even get pumped and dumped anymore. It's completely just pathetic. I mean, it's sad for these women. Let's be completely real. I wouldn't want to be in their shoes. They're dealing with a lot of stuff now. They're having to cope with a lot of different things. Even this woman, whenever the kid, I mean, let's be honest, marriages like this, especially with her talking about her husband like this marriage isn't going to last. Her husband is going to one day, I guess, say the wrong thing, and then she's going to divorce him. Well, once the kid gets old enough, these women don't like divorcing the dad if they can help it until the kid gets a little bit older, but once this kid gets older, she will throw the divorce card. He'll be out the house, and he'll realize that marriage it's not only one of the worst mistakes a man can make in his life, but it gives women this entitlement. Like these married women on TikTok, they are so entitled. They feel like they do everything. I work every minute of every day because I'm a mom. Like you don't do jack squat. Okay, I see single dads out here that are working double, triple shifts, and they're raising the kids all by themselves. And the mom's a deadbeat. Can't make this stuff up.
Very quickly, whereas women will stay single for longer, because marriage, traditional marriage, was built around men and creating success and happiness for them, but it was not centered around women. And so they are less happy in traditional marriages. And so that is why I talk so much about finding equity in a relationship. That is why I advocate for women to always have some sort of social safety nets around them, because marriage does come with risk. And that might sound...
Yeah, no one cares. I'm not going to let her finish that video. I'm done with it. But let me tell you guys something. Marriage definitely does come with risk. The risks are for the men. Okay, these women, they're completely gone. Their brain is out the window. They have no idea what they're talking about. Me, honestly, for me, I have no issues with marriage. That is the thing. I do not care. Okay, me personally, I'll never get married, but I have no issues with marriage. My issue is with divorce. I think the divorce laws need to be changed. I think something needs to be done, because these women, they are just taking it and running with it, and it's really sad that we're getting to a situation which I don't want it to be like this. You know, I don't think any guy is looking around and wants it to be like this. It's just the way it has to be, because there's no other option. In order for a man to protect himself, to protect his assets, to protect his future family, it has to be this way. It has to be this way. These guys are not even risking it anymore. And every time I see a guy say he's going to get married, I wish him good luck. You know, good luck. I hope everything works out. But if you look at the statistics, you can flip a coin and that coin will tell you whether that marriage will last or not. Let's hop into some of these Reddit stories. I got one pulled up real quick here. Let's take a look at this. It's posted, I think yesterday, but I'm so let down. He had no bedroom manners. I'd just been seeing this guy talking / a few dates for a couple months. I finally stayed over at his place and we slept together, and it was so uneventful. He basically starfished and finished super fast and then didn't offer to help me finish. So we just went to sleep. And then in the morning he had to leave early for work. He told me I could stay as long as I liked. And then I heard him high-fiving his flatmates / bros in the kitchen, obviously over us having bedroom activities. I'm so let down because I did really like him, but I can't get past his lack of bedroom manners. Just so immature. Yeah, this is very interesting. How much you want to bet this woman probably did this a few more times? Because the guy was attractive and because, you know, he was there. And then this woman's going to turn around and say, oh, well, I've tried so hard to find the right guy and all they do is use me for this one thing and I can't. Well, that's because you're talking to a guy for what, 2 months and you hop in his bed. As soon as he gets what he wants and kind of toss you aside, you get online and you start complaining about it. Or here's an idea, you know, how about you just wait till marriage? Hey, women, wait till marriage. Don't give every dude you meet behind a dumpster access to your body. I know that sounds crazy and sounds kind of old fashioned, but I mean, these women want old fashioned dudes, right? Well, you got to start acting like old fashioned ladies. A lot of these women, it's too late for them. They've already been ran through like the drive-through at McDonald's. You can't change that, okay? You can't get into a time machine. But what we can do is we can kind of help the future generation so maybe they don't get trapped in the same sort of endless rotation of whatever the hell these women are going through. There's no help for women like this. Absolutely not. Oh, well, we went on a few dates I talked to him for 6 weeks, so I let him hit. And now all he did was like hit, and then he started bragging to his roommate. That's because he doesn't care. Okay? You were literally probably the 3rd or 4th girl he had in that bed that week. You know, he's talking to you while he's talking to 5 or 6 other chicks. Okay? Like, do you not know this? Of course he laid there starfished. He was probably tired from getting milked the night before. I mean, you can't do these guys like this. They have to have rest and they need to have proper hydration. You know, these chads, they're getting drained, okay, on the daily by these women. And then they have an issue with it. Here's the next one. Left hanging after a great first date. I'm a 36 woman. Went on a date with a 31 male. After matching on a dating app and having brief, good conversations, we couldn't stop talking all date. And towards the end, he asked me what I thought. He asked me if I thought he was attractive, and we made out. Very passionate. Clear we had attraction. I needed to go home that night, so the date ended up lots of making out. He offered to walk me home. Said, "Don't worry, I'm not trying to get inside. I just want to make sure you got home okay." The kissing was very intimate. He kept just hugging me and pecking my ears and neck. I could tell he was attracted and cared for me. He said that he would like to be my friend or see me again in whatever capacity, that he thought I was really cool. The next day, he messaged me to ask how my weekend was going and to ask about specific things I said I was doing. He messaged me days later asking if we could hang out later in the week. I suggested a date and that didn't work for him. I asked if he wants to suggest another day or just check in later in the week. He said, let's see how the week goes. Parentheses, his job can get busy. We left it at that, and he would reach back out to suggest when it works later that week. It's now been a week and crickets. What's the deal? Why bother following up and not making an attempt to see him? I know the attraction is there. I know in some capacity was keen enough to reach out and bother asking to see me again. Why not follow through? Ideas? Too much trouble. This guy, he has women that he can have easier access to. You're just too much of a headache. You denied him the first night. That probably gave him the ick. He said, you know what, I'll power through it and maybe I can get with her later on. And then you suggested another date and he's like, why would I pay for this woman to eat again? Like, he's done paying. You know, it's time to get his stuff, and you're not giving it, so he's passing. I mean, this is a common thing. And you know, this guy's attractive. You know, this woman, any guy, I'm assuming any guy that matches on a dating app or whatever, and women are writing stories like this. If a woman writes a story like this about you, you're attractive. Okay. So she matched on the dating app, super attractive guy, went out on a date. She told him that he was attractive. They started making out. Things started getting hot and heavy. He wanted to possibly, you know, go a little, you know, have a little coffee or something. And she was like, no, not tonight. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Right there, whenever you deny these chads, they kind of get the clue. They get the hint. And also, these chads are not used to being denied. That first denial, it probably, you know, it was like, okay, well, maybe not tonight. Maybe I'll try again. The clear indication that he realized that he didn't want to waste any more time with you is whenever you option first. I would assume that if you would have optioned for that second date and then you would have picked out the place and you would have paid for it and you would have set up the time and everything, he probably would have went for it because it's less effort. But the fact that you weren't able to go above and beyond for this guy just gave him the ick, and he decided not to worry about it. Not to worry. That's what these dudes do. These guys have so many women on the back burner that they can just, oh, well, this chick didn't work out. Time for me to get someone else. You know, it's it's an endless rotation. And you know, these guys have plenty of choices. And if you look at the statistics, if one woman matches with a guy on a dating app, you can bet that there's a lot of other women matching with this dude, because the top 80% of women all match with the top 20% of men. And I highly doubt this woman was a 1. Okay, she was probably a 5. Okay, met this dude that was a 9. This dude's like, okay, well, it's a night out. I'll spend $20 on a burger and then we'll smash and I can, you know, get back to what I was doing. He wasted his money, wasted his time, didn't smash. He was even doing the neck and the ear nibbles. Didn't smash. And the neck and the ear nibbles always work. Well, that's just way too much trouble for a 5. So he called it quits. But let me know what you guys think. Go ahead and like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And hey, I'll catch you guys later. Rat Boy out.